All right. It is the Informed Moron. Another week, another episode. And this week we have on none other than Cody Cameron. Cody, welcome to the show, bud. Good to have you on again.
Let's rock, man. NBA final season, Damon. And
Let's
heck,
go.
our Warriors are back in. Warriors are back in after being a little 2-year hiatus, not even making the postseason. So
Yes.
I'm excited to hop on here and on the Informed Moron, where people not only get the hottest takes, they also get rich. So
Oh, yeah, this is where you get rich, baby. And right now, let's take a look at this finals matchup that we got going against the Golden State Warriors, our beloved Warriors, against the Boston Celtics. It seems like everyone kind of anticipated this matchup, basically like the whole season. We've played each other twice. We're 1-1. The last time we played the Celtics, we kind of got our butts kicked. I was there for that game. Didn't look too good, but right now, the Golden State Warriors are the favorites at -3.5 for the spread. And the over-under is at 211 for game one, which is on Thursday at 6 p.m. So, Cody, what do you see happening in this series? Who do you see winning game one? And overall, who do you see taking this series and why?
hot take here. The Celtics are a good team. I mean, just what they were able to do is pretty much cruise through some teams that were hurt. I mean, they play Sixers team that Joel Embiid gets hurt early on and plays through an injury. But they escaped that. I thought the Bulls and the Heat and Jimmy Butler, man. Jimmy Butler played Jimmy Buckets completely in that series. And just looking at the matchup, I was hoping the Heat were going to squeeze that one out last night. Game 7, I mean, Jimmy Butler did everything in his ability to get it done. That whole team besides him and Bam were cold, and I couldn't buy a shot until the fourth quarter, but I was hoping that they were going to squeeze that out because I thought the Warriors matched up extremely well with the Heat, just in terms of length. I don't think the Heat could. They have enough weapons in their arsenal to get it done, whereas the Celtics do. The Celtics have the scores. They actually pass really, really well, I think. They're built similar with the Warriors in terms of what they want to do with the facilitators, with Jason Tatum and Marcus Smart, meaning they have a ton of guys out there that can pass the rock, and they do it really efficiently. And they're active on defense. I mean, they have active hands. They're very good defenders. If you looked at both the East and the West playoffs, it was like always you're watching those Eastern teams barely get to a total of like 190 points. You're looking on FanDuel and some of these other betting outlets, and the over-under was always under 200 because the defense is really good, and there's not as many scores in the East as there is in the West. Where in the West, those Warriors games, man, 220, 225, 230, especially that series against the Mavs. So that's going to be interesting. Is the Celtics, I think, are the best defensive team the Warriors have faced in these playoffs, and vice versa. The Warriors are by far the best shooting team that the Celtics have faced all postseason. So we got a nice battle of offense and defense. We saw that a couple of years ago when the Warriors played the Raptors. Unfortunately, Katie gets hurt, Clay gets hurt, and the Warriors end up losing that NBA Finals where they were favorited. A lot of people thought they were going to sweep that series. So I think it's similar here where you got an offense versus defensive matchup. I always like Golden State at home. They play tremendously at home, and they suck ass on the road, especially the first time they play there. So game one, I think the Warriors probably edge this out by a 4 or 5 point total. I like it to be close, though, because the Celtics do have perimeter scorers, and they have guys to go one-on-one. Jaylen Brown, he's played tremendous this postseason. Jason Tatum just won MVP for that Eastern Conference Finals. He's been incredible throughout the stat sheet. He's really attacked the boards hard, too. Al Horford, 13-plus rebounds last night as well. So these two teams are built really similar, Damon, and so I think it's a toss-up for a lot of these games.
I got to agree with you, man. I'm really scared about this matchup right now. I was watching last night's game, hoping that the Heat could pull it off. And like you're saying, Jimmy Butler did everything in his power to get that game within 4 points at least. And for a second, it looked like they might have won it. They're making a run.
He had a shot. He had a shot with 30 seconds, which I love. I loved it, the shot. I mean, he deserves to take that 3-point shot. People are saying it was a crappy shot. He was open, man. Take the shot.
That's a good shot. I want Jimmy Butler to take that shot every time in that situation. If I'm a Heat fan or, Eric Spoelstra or any of his teammates, But yeah, Boston ended up getting it done. I'm scared of their defense. Marcus Smart is an amazing defender. I'm wondering who he's going to be guarding the whole entire series. I'm guessing probably Steph. I mean, probably try to shut down Steph. So that might propose a problem for us because we need Steph to score a lot of points in order to win this series. But I'm thinking about for us how we're gonna shut down Jason Tatum. That's gonna be a challenge. Who's gonna be on him? I'm guessing maybe Draymond. If I was Steve Kerr, I'd probably put Draymond on him and just try to shut him down because they do know each other very well. Draymond's kind of like an older brother to Jason Tatum, and I think he knows a lot of his tendencies and a lot of his moves. He studies them a lot. So I think I would have to get Draymond to shut him down. But then we got Jaylen Brown, right? He tore it up last night. How many points did he have? I believe he had like close to
20. I think it's 24. I think
really?
Brown 24. Yeah.
I thought he had like in the 40s or something like that for some reason.
Yeah, no. He's had some high 30 games out in the postseason. I think last night he finished with 24.
Yeah, he's pretty inconsistent, but he has the big game ability. But I will also say, after watching this series with the Heat, I feel like Jason Tatum is one of the best players in the NBA right now. But with that being said, he is very kind of inconsistent. Like he'll have an amazing game, and then the next game, it's like, where did Jason Tatum go? Like, why is he not doing as much as he did last game? Maybe it's them adapting on defense and having a good game plan for him, which I hope we could do. But it just kind of has me questioning if he can pull off an NBA Finals victory here against the Warriors. I think the Warriors are a way better team. I think we have the experience. We have guys that have been there before. We have Clay, Draymond, Steph. I mean, just those guys alone being the leaders, leading the pack, taking these young guys under their wing like Jordan Poole. Man, Kuminga was even balling the other night too. I hope he plays more. But I think we get it done as long as no injuries happen. And I don't want to jinx it, knocking on wood right now.
Because we've seen it. You know, we've seen it in the postseason, and that's where like I try to take the homer out of me away. You know, I was wearing a Golden State Warriors shirt in the morning, and then I was like, we'll flip it to try to keep this neutral and rock some Adidas football gear. But and we're not sponsored by Adidas yet, you know.
Not yet.
Before Moron's coming, probably for Nike though.
Yeah.
But just looking at the matchup though, and you talk about the inconsistency from some of these Celtics players, and there were some games during that Heat series, right, where I think Tatum finished. I don't know, it was a game 4, game 3, where Tatum finished with 11 points, you know, and a ton of superstars. That's why I also kind of go into like the gambling side. I've really tried to stay away from betting on points, you know, and 3 points made, because let's go to the Warriors. Talk about inconsistency. Klay Thompson, you know, you can totally see Klay, and this was expected, that he is not Klay Thompson of old. You know, he has a shooting ability just in terms of the quickness of release and his footwork and just getting everything squared up to the basket. You can see glimpses of that back, you know, obviously, because he's had a couple games, especially this past game 5 or game 6 where he had 8 3-pointers, you know? Yeah. And so, or game 5, excuse me. He's had games where he's had 7 made threes, 8 made threes. We've seen that. But where we've seen him struggle is the explosiveness, especially off some of the back cuts that he has, and especially his dribble attacking game. He's just not explosive. That happens back-to-back years with a torn ACL and torn Achilles. He's openly talked about that. But how many games are we in our chat, you know, our gambling chat, and we have Klay Thompson with 3 threes or 15 points, and he doesn't hit it because he's 1-11, you know, and we're just screaming at the TV like, God damn it, Klay. Like, what the heck? And you see it in the mid-range game, too. When he's coming off a back pick, it's just the explosiveness is not there. Right. So the inconsistency we've seen both times. When the Warriors are cold, I mean, they lose. When they are, I mean, the game they lost against the Mavs were on fire from three-point land. But the Warriors were frozen. The Warriors are frozen. The interesting thing about these two teams, Warriors move fast. They've always moved fast under Steve Kerr. And the chemistry they have with Steph and Draymond and Klay, and people forget these are guys they drafted. You know, they've known these are day one Warriors. Kevon Looney, another draft pick. You know, Jordan Poole, Kuminga, who's playing a ton of time. These are all Warriors draft picks. You know, and so the chemistry they have is there's second to none. They are so superior to that. And the Celtics like half court sets. They are a slow it down team. They like the pick and roll. Al Horford has been huge for that team. They like their corner threes, especially when they bring in players off the bench like Derek White. And so that's going to be interesting to see. Andrew Wiggins, to me, is the X factor. Andrew Wiggins, his first year as an All-Star, I thought he played awful after the All-Star break for a stretch there. And now he's really starting to pick it up. Where he picks it up is he is an attacker on the offensive end. He attacks the rim. He's long. He uses that to his advantage. He gets and ones. And on the defense, he locks down their number one player. So Klay Thompson, who used to have to do that, doesn't have to do that as much anymore. So you're talking about Draymond, and Draymond is one of those century players who can guard a 1 through 5. You guard anybody. I'm interested to see who guards Tatum and Jaylen Brown. But when you have two players like that with their length who causes disruption, you have an advantage. Like the Warriors, and Andrew Wiggins has attacked the rim. Damon, he averages over 7 rebounds this postseason. He is getting after the rim. I love to see that.
Yeah, Andrew Wiggins, man, he's actually taken me by surprise this year. I wasn't expecting that from him, and he's been an absolute beast. And especially in the last series, that dunk over Luka, where Luka just got posterized. That was one of the.
Killed me. They called that an offensive foul. It got reversed, but dude, such a poster, gorgeous.
Right, like, and if that would have just kept going, like if he would have got the dunk and they would have ran back on defense, like that whole entire building would have just been electric. Like the momentum would have just been so crazy. It's kind of a shame that we didn't get to see it happen in real time and see the celebration, everyone go crazy, but it still counted. That's still one of the sickest posters I've ever seen in my life. Probably one of the coolest dunks I've ever seen in playoff history, besides Baron Davis over the big old Russian dude. I forget his name, but
the dream team, man.
Yeah, dude, that was awesome to see. I love Andrew Wiggins, but I also love Looney. Looney has been tearing it up. I would like to see him play some more in this series. I think it would help us a lot, especially with Al Horford. I think he would match up kind of nice with him. Horford is hungry for that title, though, man. He's getting up there in age. He has yet to make a finals appearance. This is going to be his first finals appearance. I know he's ready for that ring, man. And I'm kind of scared of Jason Tatum wearing that Kobe wristband. Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know if you saw that last night.
I saw him text him. I saw he posted it.
Yeah, when I see stuff like that, I'm like, oh no, like that kind of
wired. Yeah,
that's like when people always win championships doing that kind of shit. They got to have that external motivation, something that's pushing them. And when you have a friend like Kobe that passed away traumatically, and he was an awesome NBA player, won lots of championships, and you try to be like him, emulate yourself like him, and you're hungry for that ship. We'll see what happens, man. But I know Jason Tatum's going to bring his A game, and I hope he doesn't wear that wristband in this series. I hope he puts it away and loses it, because that thing's good luck.
And in terms of viewership and what the NBA wants, they could not ask for a better matchup. Even if you look at like the Western Conference with the Suns being the 1 seed, the Grizz being the 2nd seed, the Warriors are your golden ticket. There's a reason why the Warriors are consistently on TNT and ESPN and ABC, right? They are the money team. So in terms of viewership, I totally expect viewership in the ratings that the Celtics, who are also a huge money ticket, especially in the East Coast, the Celtics have a huge fan base. I mean, they spread out across the nation. The ratings of this NBA Finals is going to skyrocket because of this. I don't know if it's going to be some of those like Steph Curry, Kevin Durant versus LeBron ratings. But even then, I mean, you're talking about, we have the new NBA now. The young talent, the Ja Morants, the Lukas, the Devin Bookers. Jason Tatum is up there. He is in that discussion now as one of the best players under 30 in this new wave and the new era. So is Jaylen Brown. And then you mentioned Al Horford. I think he played in like 120 playoff games before ever reaching the finals. And so you have that hunger. So the NBA has everything they want. We've seen so many blowouts this postseason, which has been huge for betting and stuff. I have so many games that it's been 15, 30 point wins. I go to game 7 with the Mavs, beat the Suns by 40, So that was happy. So with the second part of this podcast, I kind of want to take it to the gambling side. Okay. If you're down for that, because I want to. So I've been low key this postseason. I killed it March Madness, just obliterated March Madness. We're hot. Took April and May off, or took April off, May, started hitting postseason, and I fell into this rut, where just big time players were sucking.
Yes.
15 points. Chris Paul, man, who was a walking double-double all season.
Right.
4 assists, 5 assists, and I'm like, so I was bad, man. I was in the hole. And then I started doing a little reading, listening to some podcasts. And this guy told me, he's like, hey, you got to hit rebounds rebounds are the move because it counteracts all the misses, obviously, right? These teams are so cold and they're so tired. They just don't have legs during game 5, 6, and 7. Rebounds are the move. I've hit 5 or 6 bets in a row parlaying rebounds.
Damn.
Take the average. Okay. So I want you to, I don't know if you have any site up right now. You have DraftKings or something like that.
Well, let me pull up.
Pull it up. So I'll explain here what I do.
Okay.
So I used to do this with points. I would take the average and always hedge it down about 5 points, about 5 to 10 points. And so your odds are pretty low, but you parlay it, get into the pluses. But rebounds have such better odds. So I take their average of the postseason, how many rebounds, I hedge it down 2 or 3, get 4 players, and it usually makes about a 3 to 4 leg parlay that way. It makes about a plus 200 odds. So
wow,
we're looking at game 1, okay?
Okay.
And I don't know, what website are you on? What sportsbook?
I'm on Bet the Guys.
Okay. Do they? Okay.
They currently don't even have up anything.
The rebounds up. Okay. So let me just tell you this here. So we'll go off of 4 players, and you tell me what you would feel like, and we'll tell you if this is a guaranteed hit. We'll kind of bring like that football vibe back. Okay. What we call the DP lock?
I believe so. Yeah, I think that's what we're calling it. Yeah,
DP smash or something like that.
No, that was the Josh George smash.
Josh
George. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, so Jason Tatum is at 7.5. That's a plus 106. We could hedge that down to 4. Would you take it? Okay, so we would hedge Tatum down to 4 rebounds is 1,200. Steph Curry, who's like a sneaky rebounder.
Definitely, he gets a lot of boards. Yeah,
so many rebounds. So his is at 4.5, and that's plus 140. I would move him to like a 2.5. Yeah. So that, and I always do 4 players because then you start getting in these 8 to 10 leg parlays, and you're like, "This is too many players to watch."
Yeah, you're trying to everybody keep track of everybody's rebounds and shit.
So here's interesting. Andrew Wiggins averages 7.5 boards during the postseason. His line is at 5.5, but I would probably just put that to 4. So you're guaranteed.
Oh, yeah.
And last but not least, Al Horford, who's been a rebounder machine. He's averaged 11 boards a postseason. His is at 9.5. Wow. I would say 8 for Horford is pretty solid.
Yeah, I'd say 8. Even if you want to be super safe, 7 maybe.
Yeah, let's rock with. Let's get a little 8er in here. So Tatum 4 boards, Curry 4.5 boards. Or excuse me, Curry 2.5 boards, Wiggins 4 boards, Horford 8 boards. Tell me if this is DP lock. That's at plus 224.
Oh, I love that. That's a lock right there. You got to throw some serious cash on that one.
I would. To me, that's a $100. That's a hundo. You put a unit, whatever they call that, a unit or whatever you're betting on.
Right.
That's so let me flip this to you. What are you liking here? And are you liking points over under player points threes? What are you liking for this series? Because that's what I'm telling. Rebounds have worked for me. Like all the Western and Eastern Conference.
Yeah. So what's been working for me, I'm more of a points guy. I like to think who's going to have a big game because it's kind of like a pattern. I notice a pattern, especially with Jason Tatum. That's one of my favorite players to bet on with points. Game 1, I wouldn't bet on Jason Tatum to have a lot of points, but I'm anticipating him to have a kind of a rough game. I'm anticipating the Warriors to get a win. And then guess what's going to happen game 2? It happens every time with him. He's going to come out and ball out, dude. He's going to probably get 30, 40 points. And that's what's expected. And his average, I believe, right now is around 27 points a game. So what is it? Probably 27.5 for the points. I'd smash that. I mean, I'd go down to 25, I guess, maybe 24 or something if you want to feel extra safe. But I feel like he's going to have big games. Of course, Steph Curry is going to have a lot of points, I believe. And you know who I like game 1 actually a lot for points? He always seems to ball out game 1 for whatever reason, is Jordan Poole. Dude, I don't know what it is. He just always brings that energy for game 1 and makes a lot of
that last series too. I remember you called the Jordan Poole 20-point game. You must have, the DP sensation you must have felt that. You know, you talk it.
Mm-hmm. It's just a pattern. It's just a pattern. If you pay attention and watch all the games, you like see the same shit happens every series. It's guys, you know, like it's like me and you when we play basketball. You know, you kind of know.
Yeah, you have the touch when you wake up in the morning. You know.
Yeah.
And just to let you know, a Tatum 25-point game and a Jordan Poole 15-point game, that's a plus 134.
That's not bad at all. Yeah, that's a good little parlay to enjoy game one. Make it a little interesting, make a little cash.
And I just feel like with the way the Celtics play defense, I think they're gonna. No one's minutes are limited this late. No one limits minutes, but rotation matters. And I
Yeah.
think that's what the Warriors, when they went on their stretch of winning 3 rings in 4 years, they had a tremendous bench. Sean
Mhm.
Livingston, I don't think he won a sixth player of the year because Lou Williams was in the league and Lou was like Mr. Six Man.
Yeah.
You couldn't ask for a better spell when Steph was out. He didn't bring the 3 point, thing that the 3 point ability that Steph and Clay had.
Hmm.
He was one of the best mid range shooters on off the bench that I've ever seen. Sean Livingston was a matchup disaster for teams. And then you had JaVale McGee was there for a couple of years. Mo Money Spates, like how many games in the playoffs did Mo Spates just go off on?
Yeah.
The Warriors had luxury like that, and they haven't had that the last like 3-4 years. Jordan Poole brings that ability. I mean, he got quality time when Steph was out. And when he comes in, he still makes some young mistakes. He'll turn over the ball in crucial times, which is obviously not good. Tremendous scorer, though, and a good facilitator. So I love that bet in game one because I think Steph, I mean, they're getting a lot of time off health wise and getting your legs back. That's all fine and dandy. But once again, they haven't played a defensive team like the Celtics, and I expect Poole to get some good minutes.
Definitely. And they like to throw him in there too. I mean, he's a great player and it throws things off. And like you're saying, good to have a great bench. And I actually wanted to bring that up. Like our bench is fantastic this year.
Yeah.
That game that we lost to the Mavericks, we're down by like 30 points.
And it came back. The bench brought him back.
Bench, yeah. I think we got back to like what 7 points or 5 points at one point, and I was like, "Holy shit, are we gonna win?" And I honestly think we should have kept those guys in there, but
they pulled them. They pulled them, put the starters in, and Luka hit a 3 immediately.
I was like, "Dude, keep them in there. They're tearing it up." It's like we weren't supposed to win that game. See what happens. I would like to see us incorporate the bench a little bit more. Bring them off, give the guys some rest, and see what they can do. Like I think as the Boston Celtics are going to be studying so much film on Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, Draymond, all these guys, shoot, throw him a curveball, throw Kuminga in there. Throw in Looney a long time. Like keep him out there for a while. Just make them adapt, make them see something different, keep them on their toes. Just throw different stuff at him. I'd like to see us incorporate that a little bit more, especially in the finals.
And it's good to see Looney get minutes because during the Grizz series, he was non-existent just because their center, Jaren Jackson, he's a stretch five. He was on fire for a few of those games on three. And Looney's not going to guard that. Horford's shoots threes, but he's also really old and he's not very quick. Looney can get on him a little bit more because Looney's pretty slow, but he played tremendous against the Mavs, man. And so that was good to see. And then you're talking about Poole and Kuminga. The great thing about those two guys is, so imagine just guarding Steph and Clay, and especially Klay Thompson, where his job is literally just to run around the baseline about 15 times and get picked, right? So you're running. I remember ESPN StatCast did a thing on players and how far they have to run during a game when they cover Steph and Clay. And it was so much longer than a regular shooting guard just because those guys run baseline on back cuts and back picks and front picks and double screens all game long. So those two guys are out. And you're like, all right, finally I get a break. And then here's Jordan Poole who's running 155 miles per hour up and down the court. The dude is a freaking just lightning. And then so is Kuminga. And Kuminga's like a 4. He's like 3 or 4, And so now you're like, okay, I get a break. Nope. Here comes Kuminga hauling his ass down. So you get, and I don't know if Kuminga's even 20 years old.
No, he's 19. Yeah, he's really young, man. And that guy, he has a bright future, man. I don't think we play him enough. Like I really think he should be incorporated more, but it's great to see a young talent on the team. And like you're saying, Jordan Poole is a nut, man. Yes, watching that guy, he does not stop running. It makes me tired watching him. And also I think he learned that from Steph, because if you watch Steph just doesn't stop, dude. He just keeps running back and forth. He looks like an absolute pain in the butt to guard. You got to have good cardio to guard that guy. So what do you see this series going to? What's your prediction?
I think it's 6.
6.
So I think it goes 6. Mm-hmm. I mean, obviously the heart says Warriors, right?
Right.
The brain got to go off the brain here. It would not surprise me if the Celtics won the series.
For
Okay,
sure.
because I think the Warriors have the ability to go cold,
Mhm.
and when they go cold, they lose, and they
Right.
lose badly. And they also don't play away. They don't play well away, especially the first game. The very first game that's in the Boston Garden, whatever the money line is, hit the crap out of that. I mean, smash that. There's a reason why Vegas, even when the Warriors were up 3-0 in Game 4, I think that spread was like -1.5. There's a reason for that. They are horrible away
Yeah.
on a couple of those games. So right there's a lot. The Warriors are going to for sure lose a game in the series. Just that first game away, that is a loss.
Yeah.
If Boston splits these first two games, they're up 2-1, right? Because Boston, they're winning Game 3 in the guard. Actually, no, I'm sorry. This game is in Boston. Am I all?
No, I believe it's in San Francisco.
Am I? Oh, it is. Okay, good.
Yeah.
So I'm
I
not.
believe the first-
Yeah, no, it's in Golden State. Okay, yeah. I'm on. We're good.
Yeah.
Brought me on this show. I had 25 minutes in just spewing false facts. God,
You're okay. You're
who
good.
the hell is this guy? But
Oh, this is the guru right here. You know your shit. You know.
okay, but anyway, so they're gonna be down 2-1 heading into Game 4.
Mhm.
Right there, man. I could see the Celtics winning this in 6 if that happens. So the Warriors, you have to get it. You have to make this 2-0. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, that's everybody's mindset heading into a series is jump up. You cannot lose a game here at home. So, because I think the pendulum swings. If that happens, I think the pendulum swings all the way to Boston. So that's my thoughts. What are you thinking here?
I honestly think it's going to go to 7, and I think that the Warriors will win just because we have the home court advantage for Game 7 if it does go to Game 7, and we have Game 1 and 2 at home, which is big. So this is my prediction. This is what I think is going to happen. I think we'll take Game 1. I think it's going to be like a 10-point win. Like I think we'll win by like 10, maybe 15, and people are going to be like, "Oh wow, this is going to be an easy series for the Warriors." Everyone's going to say that. And then I think Jason Tatum's going to get in the lab and come out and hit a 40-piece in Game 2. I think the Celtics will take Game 2 in our house.
Okay.
I think we'll go to Boston, lose that game in Boston, and we'll be down 2-1. And that's when I think the Warriors will start to make a little run. And I think
from there.
Yeah, I think from there the Warriors will take one in their house, come home, win one there. I just think they're going to get hot. That's just, I don't know why. I have no logic behind it. That's just my prediction on it. That's just how I'm feeling. And I think it's going to go 7. And I think it's going to be very, very stressful. I think these games are going to come down to the wire a lot of times. And we're going to be stressed out like over Jason Tatum all the time, man. That guy's just so good. So
yeah. You know what's interesting is just looking at some of the series spreads. So if it goes Game 6, it's a plus 190 odds.
Mm-hmm.
If it goes to Game 7, it's a plus 185. You
Wow.
could literally just put 100 on both, and you're going to make your money back.
Yeah.
It's like
I think that's going to happen for sure. I don't see it ending in 5. I don't see that. I think at least 6 or 7.
I think at least 6 and 7 too. The other thing is just looking at somebody, but before we end here, NBA Finals MVP. Tell me who you would take here. Okay, Curry's at plus 120, Tatum's at plus 175, and then it just skyrockets. The next closest player, so 120, 175, is Jaylen Brown, which is a pretty good bet, plus 1,000.
Wow.
That's a huge jump. Huge jump. Draymond's 4th at plus 1,400. Clay's plus 1,500. A sleeper, heck, this is Al Horford plus 12,000.
Plus 12,000?
Plus 12,000.
Not 12,000.
Plus 12,000.
Wow. You know what though? Okay, so this is what I'm thinking.
I would take Jaylen Brown plus 1,000. I think because it matters whoever Draymond doesn't guard, right? Because Draymond's a freaking claw. He's a monster, but plus 1,000.
Dude, remember when? Yeah, Draymond. Dude, what's Draymond Green at? Plus 1,400.
Yeah, he's at plus 14.
I'm trying.
Muted. You're muted, Damon. There you go.
Okay, you remember when Andre Iguodala won Finals MVP?
Shut down LeBron. I mean, those odds must have been plus 5,000 at least.
That's what I'm trying to think right now. Okay, so who's gonna be on Jason Tatum? Draymond Green.
Yeah,
right?
I would see. I don't fuck. That's the only thing I don't know.
That's where my logic is going though. Like if you want a good deal, who's gonna shut down the best player on the other team? Oh, we got a special guest right there. Oh, what's up? What's going on, bud? He's a podcaster. Dude, yeah. So I think Draymond would be a good deal, but I also like where. Yeah, that's why not, you know.
But once again, like you put $10 on anything after Tatum and Curry, plus 10 for Jaylen Brown, plus 10 for Draymond, you're winning your money back and a ton more.
Yeah,
like a ton more. That's not like, I mean, it's not bad. You're just rooting. At that point, you're just rooting for bad Curry games, though. I don't know if I get out of it.
Yeah, for real. But with that being said, I mean the most likely MVPs will probably be Curry or for sure, boy Jaylen Brown. So
but that's where I think I don't know how well Steph's going to play in the series because he hasn't been guarded by someone long. And Marcus Smart's a monster too.
Oh yeah. I don't see Steph Curry doing the best in this series. He never really does good in the finals. I don't know if you remember that.
I remember. Yeah, awful. Yeah, not awful, but like he struggles tremendously in a couple of games, and that's why.
And last time, when he played in the last finals, who did they play against?
The Raptors.
Yeah. I remember when he played against the Cavs though, and like Kyrie was just locking him down. That's kind of, dude. I think that's kind of what's going to happen with Marcus Smart. Marcus Smart's just so good. So we'll see though, man. I think Warriors will get it done, but it sounds like you're going with the Celtics, huh?
I am. Hold on one second. I gotta get this door. Okay.
Oh, get the door. Wow. All right. Well, Cody's gone. Let's look at his house right here. He just renovated. Let's look. Wow. Get the cabinets right there. That looks like a new microwave. New stove. Is that a new fridge, Cody?
No, that's there.
Oh, it's a nice fridge though.
All that was in the house.
Really?
Yep.
Damn, that's nice. I'm moving to Arizona. Let's just move to Arizona. Fuck California.
Dude, the market is still a lot cheaper.
I know. I still want to kind of check out some places, man.
I think these are contractors.
You got some more work at your house right now, or what?
No, not right now. We're supposed to be here.
Damn, dude, I'm jealous of your place. It looks nice. Looks clean.
Yeah, it is clean right now, but that's just because we swept after all this stuff.
Yeah. Damn, that sucks that Gary Payton's out. Gary Payton would have helped us a lot in this series.
He was killing it.
I know, until he freaking broke his elbow, right? Isn't that what happened? And Porter. I think Porter's out too.
Is there shit? Hey, I'm gonna have to talk to these guys. Is there a way?
No, dude, it's all good. We're basically done. Let's just sign off. All right, Cody. Thank you for doing this, man. Go Warriors.
Go Warriors, bro. I'll talk to you.
All right, peace.